Welcome back to Girls Locker Room. Have you been searching for a show that you can grab a glass, get comfortable, and unwind with? Well, look no further because you found it. If you are new here, I am your host, Reanne, another 20-something-year-old woman learning and navigating the ups and downs of life. On this week's episode, I will discuss keeping your eye on the prize. So grab your glass, get comfortable, and step into the locker room with me. Welcome to another episode of Girls Locker Room. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you all had a good weekend, very relaxing, very pause button on the rest of the world, especially right now. So any moment that you can get to relax and turn your mind off, please do it, because honestly, with everything going on, you never know when God calling you home. Let's just put it that way. So I am really anxious. Excuse me. I am really anxious right now because Putin has invaded Ukraine. Putin knocked on that door and said, bitch, I'm getting it back in blood. I really don't care what y'all feel like. And that don't sit well with me because I feel like this is just going to escalate into things further. I do not agree with meeting his aggression with more aggression. Now, I understand Ukraine defending themselves, but us, people sending troops and weapons and funding for lethal force, why? When you can just do exactly what you already doing, which is sanctioning the hell out of him. So most of his power comes from money. So stop his bag. Come on now. But anyway, which they have been doing, and I applaud them. And the craziest thing about the situation is Switzerland picked sides. So y'all, this shit getting real. Switzerland is a neutral zone, always has been there for the past 2 world wars, and they're now picking a side. So, but yeah, that just, I pray for those in Ukraine, and I especially pray for the African students that are having a hard time getting home. I just don't understand. The world it's almost on the brink of chaos, and people still have the audacity and the gall to find time to discriminate against the color of someone's skin. And it's just are you kidding me? In the moment, we all could be dust together, no matter what your skin tone is. We all can just become atoms in the middle of space. I don't get it. That, it's just not the time for that. That's not how humans are going to get rid of the bullshit we got going on right now. So, again, y'all, I'm sorry. I needed a drink. Okay. But anywho, but that was my trending topic politically. Let's jump right on into Euphoria, because I was going to talk about it. Ooh. I'm 2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2 on what's trending between Euphoria. This is my second episode in a row that I'm going to talk about it. But y'all, I love Rue. I mean, we watched this show because of Rue. The show is predominantly about her, and she had us in a little bit of a tight chokehold emotionally. But seeing her in this space in these last 2 episodes, seeing her somewhat clean and thriving and healthy, I was proud. I was happy for my girl. And I also see her, her pushing that boundary between her and Jules, her being nah, motherfucker, you kind of fucked that up. Especially since I still genuinely feel Jules only said something to Leslie because she was trying to play pawn with her and Ethan. And I don't find that to be cool, especially since you say you love Rue. What the hell, man? But that's just me. I know other people feel differently and felt like she was doing it because she genuinely loved her, but I just think that was an opportunity for her to seize. Now, do I think it was smart that she rekindled her relationship with Ethan or went over there to make bygones bygones? No, I don't, especially because he lied and he kind of assisted you with that bullshit. So that's just my thought process on it. But other than that, I'm just happy because it looks like, from what we can see, her and Lexi rekindles their friendship and kind of tries to get back on board with that. And it's nothing like having good influencers or people that understand that you're trying to change for the better around you. Because when you got people that's going to continuously put you down and put you in a situation, where you can't evolve for good, you need to change your environment. And I just feel like her going back to Lexi, going back to someone who genuinely loves her, will be the best option and be the best thing for her. So hopefully we get to see that in 2023. Oh, excuse me, 2024. God willing, it will be there. And, you know, we get to see how this goes. Now, I took that drink for Miss Maddie because Miss Maddie did what she had to do. Her getting up on that stage and beating Cassie down. Because here's my thing, and this is a genuine question, especially for women who feel like that's cute. What do you get out of sleeping with your girl's ex? Now, I'm not putting this on men because I don't ever, literally, ever expect them to have some type of honor code or anything like that when it comes to it. But you bitches, that's a little different. What in your mind? What about your friend, your best friend? What about their man makes it to where you would want to even do that? Like, to the women who have done it. Like, what in your fucking mind says, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let him come my way. Now, you can sit here and be like, don't let nobody block your blessings. That's not a blessing, especially if you're losing what I call a sister. And I think that's the issue with our generation. Like, we don't know how to be friends no more, especially the girls, because I could have sworn it was a code. I don't know. Me personally, this how I feel. Even when a man approaches me and then starts to flirt with my homegirl, don't come back this way. When they approach both of us and they choose a friend, you chose that friend. Stay on that side now. Stay right there. Can't cash that in. Can't go past go. Sit your ass right there. Because to me, the code is activated at that point. I don't care if it's been a 5-minute conversation. That's just me. And then later down the line, especially if I'm a passenger seat to what you going through with that dude, why would I ever? Especially in the situation how it was with Maddie. Why the fuck would I ever want to get on that roller coaster? I wanted you to get away from that roller coaster because you was too good for it, not because I wanted to get on it. And I don't know. Like, I don't know if it'd be like that. The thought process of like, she always talking about that nigga. I want to see if she really like mean what she say. I don't know what it is. I can't fathom it. And so I was BB. Kat was really pissing me off, trying to like get involved and intervene in it. That was really annoying because it was like, hey, she need her ass beat, hun. Like, I don't know why you trying to stop it. She need to be smacked around. So yeah, I was happy about that. Now, I do want to say this before I move on. Whatever the hell the producers and directors and writers were thinking about putting all this extra drama and gangster bullshit between Ashtray and Fesco, I don't like it. Because when we were first introduced to Ashtray was just a little nigga, little homie, trying to stack his bread, stack his money, and move out the way and help his brother get this bread and sell this dope. Now he all of a sudden snapping people. Now, I got the first episode where he was, where he grabbed the gun when Cal came in there trying to press the issue. I understood that, you protect your home. But all that extra stuff with Mouse and what just happened in the last episode, it was unnecessary and uncalled for. And I don't know if it's because the actual actor at the time had to finish out his boxing career. And that could be it. But, like, that's more dramatic than Shonda Rhimes dragging George by a bus. What was the need? Nah, I'm going to take that back because ain't nothing more dramatic than Shonda dragging George. That was unnecessary. But either way, both of them are unnecessary. And I kind of feel like it's up there for me with season 8 of Game of Thrones. There was just no reason. So, and we definitely don't get to see, like, if Fesco walked away from all of that. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. And to know that we're not going to find out till 2024 because our girl Zendaya is booked and fucking busy. Booked and busy. Okay? She getting that Marvel check. Them faces of designer houses check. Her and Lux got things going on. So, but yeah, I'm kind of intrigued. Oh, and we just got the announcement that P-Valley coming back in June when they tried to lie to us and say 2023. So we about to be at the Pank. I don't know about y'all, baby, but I got my stripper heels and thong ready to go. I'm so ready to go back to the Pank with Uncle Clifford. And the Pank rules, okay? So I'm excited about that. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Snowfall did make its return. I'm gonna hold off on reviewing that. I mean, I'm happy to see my baby back on screen. He been away from home so long that I'm so happy to see him doing what he do best. And when he come home, Mama gonna be right and ready for him. So yes, it's amazing seeing Damson back on the screen. So we'll see what we got in store for Snowfall. I mean, he ain't on his cane no more, so we're gonna see what's going on. But with that being said, let's jump right on into the topic. So, like as I stated in the intro, I want to talk about this topic because it's something that's very dear to me, especially since I am trying to evolve myself. So, I want to talk about the challenges of staying on track for whatever that goal is in mind. So for me personally, my goal is more internal than it is external. I have noticed there's patterns in my life, and I don't really want them to continuously repeat. I'm one of those people that if something's wrong, I want to fix it. Even if it takes me forever to do it, I want to fix it. And so for me, it's certain boundaries that I haven't been able to put up for myself. It's like I said in the episode a while ago, people pleasing. And I want to change that. I've wanted to change that, my boundaries, how I speak up for myself in certain relationships and how I speak up for myself in others. So I'm one of those people that if you fuck with my money and my reputation, we got something to talk about. But in terms of like the people around me, friendships, lovers, family, I have a hard time with standing up for myself as I would with people that I don't know. And I think it's always been because for the people nearest and dearest to me, I never want to hurt them. I never want to be the villain in their stories. So I'm always at the end of the totem pole when I'm trying to fix something or fix something about myself. And that's never good. I shouldn't be like that at all. However, that's what I'm trying to change. I'm also trying to better myself when it comes to my word personally. Like being a woman of my word for other people has always been on par. But keeping my word with myself, that is a task for me. And it shouldn't be a task for me at all. Like it should be something that's easy and it comes naturally. But like I said, I have a hard time with it. But anywho, but lately, as I've been trying to embark on these changes, I've been doing so good. And then there are times, like anyone, I have moments where I have to remind myself what the goal and what the prize is. And that is the woman on the other side of the door. And where I have the hardest problem is I can sometimes get caught up in those around me, caught up in the situations around me, or hell, caught up in my own head. And I kind of forget. And it is so hard to get yourself back on track, especially for me. And I don't know if there's other people like me. When I get off track, when I slip a little bit, I can't tell myself, okay, we had a bad day. We're going to get back up on this horse. So we're going to try it again. It's that simple. That the statement is literally that simple. But for me, it's more of, damn, bitch, why the fuck would you do that? Like, what was the point? Like, you've been doing so damn good. Like, why? And I don't know where I get that from. I have no idea where I get the need to be so mean. And I haven't been doing therapy in a while, but I did have a therapist who told me to, when I had a negative thought, when I had a destructive thought, is what she called it, and I was supposed to write it down, the time, the date, all of that, so that I can see my progression of the many times that I've been mean to myself and the other times where I've been nice. So that's where it becomes a challenge for me, because I don't know how to fall and dust myself off and keep walking. I have to fall, throw a tantrum, and be mad at myself and say that I can't do it, that I'm not worth the woman on the other side of the door. Oh, that was so nasty. I'm sorry. But and I'm trying to get to that point where I don't do that, where I can look at the bigger picture and say, okay, I stumbled, but we did not totally mess up the image. We did not totally mess up the progress. We just stumbled off track a little bit. Like, for instance, I was supposed to keep a boundary for myself. And it wasn't towards anyone. It was just for me. It was just for me to be like, you know what? When this appears or this situation comes, this is what we're going to do. The situation approached and I was like, no, I can do it this time. I can do it this time. Instead of being like, no, I can't do it this time. I won't do it this time. And that's small, but it's big to where I'm trying to be. And I guess what I'm trying to say is you can't expect to get to point A and point B without a little bit of trouble, without a little bit of destruction on the way there, because something worth having is never going to be easy, and changes are always hard because you're leaving behind everything that you used to know. And that's the scariest thing about changing, is realizing that old habits have to die, and they can't die hard. They have to go regardless. And again, my support system from my parents are amazing because they both will remind me, okay, you had a bad day. So what? Or they remind me and be like, no, what we talk about? And I love parents like that. Well, my parents, I haven't experienced any other parenting, but I love my parents for that, because they'll keep me accountable for the changes that I want to do. But they'll notice that when I stumble, but I keep trying, they'll be like, but you're still trying. You haven't gave up. And that's the most important part about it. So to my babies that are trying to change for themselves, even if it's work-wise, career-wise, personal, keep going. You know, this is a marathon, not a race. and the marathon continues. Word up to Nipsey, it definitely continues. When I heard his slogan for a while, I would hear it and be like, y'all just get on anything just to get on it. But then I could decipher who said it and actually meant it, who would repeat that and actually mean it and understand where he was coming from. When he said that, it was, we gotta keep going. Like this, a race is here and here. A marathon gonna take you up some ups and downs, some curves. It's gonna take you through some obstacles. But when you get to that end point, you're gonna be like, damn, I made it through all of that and I got done. That's what he meant. Like through all of that, we keep going. Through all the adversity, through all the left turns, the pit stops, the fuck ups, all of that, we keep going. And that's what I try to remind myself, or I'm trying to remind myself. Hell, every time that I post a video, I give myself the biggest round of applause. No matter if I record it on my recording day or I record it right before I'm supposed to publish. It doesn't matter. As long as I do it, as long as I get it done, I feel like there is an award or there is an applaud that needs to be given. And so I do that because it's not a marathon. I mean, it's not a race, it's a marathon. And I just have to learn to take it one day at a time, to say, today, this is what I accomplished. Like today at work, I accomplished all my work checkpoints on my to-do list. This has probably been one of my best productive days at work, and where I work at, for us to be as busy as we are and for us to always have something to do, for me to knock down pegs was like dope to me. For me to say, you know what, bitch, we got time, do this, do that. The craziest thing is I always want to be in the know. I always want to know what's going on. I always want to know that I ain't missed nothing. And to put myself in a bubble and say, you know what, I'll read about it later, or I'll catch up on it later. That has been something that I've been crazy proud of, because that's something I'm not used to doing, but that gets me to that other side. That doesn't just also benefit me on the work end, like at my actual job, but anything that I want to do dream-wise and career-wise, personally with my brand, that's going to help me, because I learned those habits while working. So, but yeah, so if you are ever at a point where you're trying to figure out like, damn, how did I mess this up? When you're trying to evolve, take a deep breath and try it again. Now try it again. So that was my topic for today. I want to quickly get into jam session. And jam session is with my girl, no other than Doja Cat. So Doja and Tyga have a song called Freaky Deaky, and I love it. So the first time I heard it, I went ahead and watched the visual, because I saw the stills from the visual online. And Doja, first of all, Doja lost some weight and it looks so good on her. She is just effortlessly pretty. Like, she's gorgeous. It's not a look that she can be given that she can't rock. So I saw the visual for Freaky Deaky, and Tyga and Doja had Juicy together already, and they did real well on that one. So I wasn't surprised that they meshed well. And her singing on the chorus, and she has a pretty voice. So I'm not really typically into rappers singing, but she was already singing when I was introduced to her anyway. So it's nothing new. And she kept clear to the realm and the era of what she's in right now in this most latest like drop for her in this most latest season of her career. Doja's been very futuristic, very but she's always been that way, but this has been her staple piece. Very futuristic, very quirky, and what is the show that I'm thinking of? Very Smart House-ish, or like, cause you know her album is called Planet Her, and it's outworldly, it's otherworldly, and this visual was no different. Her and Tyga were each other's love interest in the episode, and they're pretty much linking up, the come through chill vibe. But Miss Mama's had some things planned for him. It was a very cute visual. He did good. He sounded great. Her little snippets of her, because she had a verse, but then she would have little verses here and there. But she always sounds good, and Tyga is it's gonna be a hit. Like, people talk about him in the media and don't care for him or anything like that, but usually when he does a remix or he does a song, it usually goes far. Tyga usually doesn't miss on the pop charts, especially. So, especially when she's where she is on the pop chart, I think that mashup was just perfect, especially for where she is in her career. She is really in her time where I think she's going to own the industry right now. And I can say that even as a stan of Meg, I feel like she has a very big presence that can appeal to every side. I dare to say she has become what everyone else is trying to force. She has been able to appeal to rap, and then she's been able to appeal to pop. But guess what? She hasn't been overtly sexual. She's been herself. And that is a prime example of when you let an artist be themselves, they'll be able to be approached by everybody. I don't think anybody would have to go to Doja and say, you have to do this. I think she'd be like, hey, I actually want to do it. Let's do it. Somebody on her team is actually listening and letting her do exactly what she wants to do. Do I think that they're probably going to have her tour just planning her album out just as long as they did Hot Pink? Yes, I do. There's no denying that she will be touring Planet Her as long, if not longer, than Hot Pink, because it just all the way around there, it flows. The album just flows beautifully. So I don't think she needs to take her foot off anybody's neck right now, because I think she's doing exactly what she's supposed to. And it's just her time. And I can't wait to see what else she has in store for us, especially with these visuals. Get Into It. She put out a visual for Get Into It. And again, out otherworldly on a spaceship, giving us the futuristic tease. And I think it works for her. I think that look really works for her. That artistic, out of the box, not just, her in a bikini twerking and shaking her ass, because that was for someone else. That was someone else's MO, and they do it very well, and I think she should continue with that. But when you have all the rap girls doing it, it's just like, can somebody do their own thing? Can somebody be them? And I think that's why Doja is so loved by many, is because she's still fine as hell in her two pieces and her, her BDSM garb. She's still fine as hell, but she's being her. You cannot deny that that's Doja's look, that's Doja's lane. And if anybody else was to jump in that lane, we all think that that's a copycat. So I need the rest of the world, the rest of the hip hop industry to learn the woman that they're dealing with. If you got to learn Lotto and what she like, learn that and let her do that. Don't ask her to do more than what she is. I just think that fucks that up. Lakia is very gorgeous, very pretty. Still give the pretty girl aesthetic, but wrap circles around these niggas. Let her do that. That's what she does. Who else? And the city girls, let them do what they do. Don't try to change them either. Like, let them do. And I think that's what worked for the older rap generations, even before Nicki. They all was their own thing. They all represented something differently, and it all worked. It all meshed out, and they did what they had to do in their respective lanes. I just don't understand. But you know what? A certain rapper did try to tell people, quit trying to make copycats to me. It's not going to work. And I think people took it as Nicki being arrogant when she was just speaking the truth. If we let these girls be who they supposed to be, they'll be fine. Because we let Rico do what she do, and she's fine. And so, but that's just my spiel. I think if we let these women do exactly what they're supposed to do and let them have fun and let them be artists and let them be who they are without trying to change them because somebody else's formula worked better or somebody else's formula got on. But that's life. Like what I do, another person, another host is not going to do the same thing. They may get on and I may have a little bit more of a time to do that. But that's just life. That is what it is. But I'm not about to go look at their show and look at what they do and be like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna have to lay it down like this. No, because your tribe going to find you. So, but yeah, that was my spiel for today. And that was this week's episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe and follow the show so that you never miss a Girls Locker Room Wednesday. Join me here, same time, same day, right back in the locker room. And I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.